Keller.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker. And indeed, thank you. Deputy Speaker, I won't detain the House very long, but I just wanted to put my voice on the record in strong support of these voter ID laws and this integrity to our electoral system. I would also quickly and briefly make the point that, once again, the Labor Party is playing politics instead of putting people first by moving yet another second reading amendment, which is designed for that fraudulent website theyvoteforus.org.au to misrepresent the voting intentions of this House, especially those on this side of the chamber, while protecting their friends, while protecting the people who love front groups, because they know if Australians really saw who they were and what they stand for, they would never get elected even for dog catcher at their local council. That's how fraudulent the Labor Party has become. And what this bill does is, Deputy Speaker, let's make this very clear. What this bill does is it asks you to undertake one of the most minimum of standards for proving that you are who you say you are when you vote. Those opposite want to make it harder for someone to buy on Amazon than it is to vote in an Australian government. They want to make it harder to collect a payment from Medicare than it is to vote for the government of Australia. They want to make it harder on that side to pick up a package at the post office than it is to vote for a government in Australia. I mean, look, it's only democracy. It's not worth protecting, according to those opposite. Not worth protecting. In fact, it should be a free-for-all. They keep saying that the incidence of fraud in the electoral system is vanishingly small. Let's make it perfectly clear. Let's make it perfectly clear, and the member for Burt should listen. He should be curious, not judgmental, as Walt Whitman would say. Be curious, member for Burt, not judgmental. Because what he would realise is that what the Electoral Commissioner meant was it is vanishingly small to prove that someone committed fraud in our current electoral system, because it requires you to commit the fraud, and then the only way that we can prove that you actually committed the fraud is for you to admit to it. So, in other words, what the Labor Party is saying, and I absolutely agree with them, that people who commit fraud are disinclined to admit to it. I agree, that's absolutely true. And so what we are trying to do as a parliament is actually to bring in a system that is actually lower standard than what they have in the United Kingdom, what they have in Canada, what they have in the United States, what they have in France, what they have in Portugal, what they have in Spain, Italy, Greece. I mean, even the Greeks have managed to do this, Deputy Speaker. I suspect when you go to the polls in Russia, they ask you to at least prove who you are. So the standard of the electoral system that the Labor Party wants this country to endure has less checks and balances in it than those that virtually every other Western democracy on the face of this planet has. And then they claim, because we have the temerity over here to demand that there be at least a modicum of integrity in our voting system, that we're racist. Well, I say to those opposite, keep telling the working men and women of Australia that when they disagree with you that they're extremists. Keep telling them that they're neo-Nazis. Keep telling them that they're racists. I'm sure that'll go down incredibly well. No wonder you need so many front groups to hide behind at every election. No wonder you need They Vote For Us. No wonder you need Get Up. No wonder you need voices of front groups. No wonder you need whatever electorate rising / souffle. No wonder you need independents at every turn to hide behind, because you cannot stand up. You cannot. What I really fear is that I've made the member opposite right. I've gone over my 3 minutes. So I will stop there. I will stop there, Deputy Speaker. But I will say this much. Shame on those opposite. Shame on you for playing politics when you should be putting the people of Australia first. Shame on you for calling anyone who dares to disagree with you a racist, an extremist or a neo-Nazi. Shame on all of you, because the fact of the matter is that this brings long overdue integrity into our voting system.